right, sir.
Let's fall in. Follow me. I beg your pardon, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Allow me, ma'am.
Thank you.
May I?
Thank you.
Thornton, wake up. Soldiers, take a look.
I don't care what you meant to do. It's what you did I don't like. You made a fool of yourself and this railroad in the bargain. Now, I want you to apologize to this. Yes, sir. Can I help you?
If they move, kill them.
The stage is now set for the Old West as people knew it in 1969 to change forever, as this group of violent bandits disguised as members of the cavalry enter a town to rob a bank. Those words, "If they move, kill 'em," would end the days of one climactic gunfight. In this film, there are several splashed with blood and anger. There is no white hat good guy, because in this world, power given for good corrupts for just as much as lawlessness. Directed by Hollywood outcast Bloody Sam Peckinpah, The Wild Bunch stars William Holden and Ernest Borgnine as Pike Bishop and Dutch Engstrom, the leaders of a gang of robbers looking for one last score to retire. Chasing them is Pike's former partner, Deke Thornton, played by Robert Ryan, leading a gang of bounty hunters to capture the group and get the massive reward. In the following two clips, we take a look at the gang of violent thieves. One thing in this film that is quite striking is they are not your typical villains, or what was thought to be villainous at that time. They have a strong sense of brotherhood and honor amongst them. Peckinpah many times stated he wanted to make this band of outlaws human, with a real sense of honesty in them. First, we see what happens when the gang realizes the score they robbed from our first clip isn't what they thought it would be. Then, when one member wants to abandon the oldest man in the group, Pike takes a stand.
Now about sharing up.
Sharing up will be the same as always.
Well, me and Tector don't think that he ought to get the same amount. He's just starting out, and this is mine and Tector's opening for a new territory.
That's right. And I figure a share of that old goat for watching them horses is damn sure share too much.
So we decided. It ain't fair.
If you two boys don't like equal shares, why in the hell don't you just take all of it? Well, why don't you answer me, you damn yellow-livered trash?
Now, Pike, you know
I
damn
don't
well...
know a damn thing, except I either lead this bunch or end it right now.
All right. We divide it up just like you say.
Chick, 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 chick.
Silver rings. Silver rings, your butt. Them's washers. Damn!
Washers. Washers. We shot our way out of that town for $1 worth of steel hose.
They set it up.
They? Who in the hell is they? They? Why, they is just plain and fancy they. That's who they is. Caught you, didn't they, eh? Tied a tin can to your tail, led you in and waltzed you out again. Oh, my, what a bunch. Big tough ones, eh? Here you are with a handful of holes, a thumb up your ass, and a big grin to pass the time of day with. They! Who the hell is they?
And now, our next clip.
Get those horses up!
What the hell's going on? Get up, bastard! Get up! Come on! Get up! Get over here! Help! What in the hell's the matter with you, old man? Leave him alone! Who? He's gonna get us all killed. I'm gonna get rid of him.
We're not getting rid of anybody. We're gonna stick together just like it used to be. When you side with a man, you stay with him, and if you can't do that, you're like some animal. You're finished. We're finished. All of us. Mount up.
This film excels at nuances and undertones. It flawlessly blends the line between moral and immoral. The opening scene, the violent bank robbery, occurs while the League of Moral Women is meeting right outside the bank. A major nuance Peckinpah uses is the idea of the changing times, not just in this film, but it could also be connected to the society that is at play when the film was released. In past reviews, I have mentioned the 60s bringing forth cultural changes that are still felt today. In the era that the film takes place in, the early 1900s, change was afoot as well. In this short excerpt where we hear Pike bemoan to Dutch about finding that last score, and despite knowing what awaits them, Pike is ready for the major risk.
This was gonna be my last. Ain't getting around any better. I'd like to make one good score and back off. Back off to what? Have you got anything lined up? Pershing's got troops spread out all along the border. Every one of those garrisons is going to be getting a payroll. That kind of information is kind of hard to come by. I don't say it's going to be easy, but it can be done. He'll be waiting for us. I wouldn't have it any other way.
We are all aware with Westerns, or at least a majority of them, have that final climactic shootout between the good guy and the outlaw. The Wild Bunch takes this up many, many levels. The final shootout is a massive bloodbath between Pike's gang and Mexican federales that have kidnapped a member of Pike's crew. What sets the battle off is the leader of the federales, the general, slits the throat of the young man taken captive from Pike's gang. This leads to Pike shooting him. And what occurs next is 8 minutes of bullets, blood, and death, with the Mexican federales mowing people down with a .30 caliber Gatling gun. This scene is one of the most violent in cinema history, and it is very unforgettable. Because of the lack of dialogue, I felt I could not do it justice. The scene that occurs following this, between the tired and worn down Deke Thornton and Sykes, the older bandit that people wanted to abandon from earlier, show that despite the changing times, despite the great tragedy they have endured, they will always have a place in society.
I expect to find you here.
Why not? You sent him back. That's all I said I'd do.
They didn't get very far.
I figured.
What are your plans?
Drift around down here. Try to stay out of jail.
Well, me and the boys here, we got some work to do. You want to come along? It ain't like it used to be, but it'll do.
This film is known for its violence and brutality, both being Peckinpah staples, but to only give it credit for that diminishes its impact. It's a fitting end to the gunfighter Old West era and brings forth a new tone of ideas and heroes in the West. This is the beginning of the quote-unquote new Old West that we see today in movies like No Country for Old Men, in shows like Yellowstone, and we have Bloody Sam to thank for it. This film has to be seen by any fan of cinema for them to appreciate the Western genre and just how impactful Peckinpah's vision is. This is one of my all-time favorite films of any genre, and I cannot say enough good things about it or recommend it highly enough. Next week, in honor of their triumphant return on Paramount Plus, we look at the timeless classic Beavis and Butthead Do America. For WMNH and Matt Connarton Unleashed, this has been a classic film review with Erich Pilcher.